What if your true voice was waiting, just beyond your fear? Why does each idea rise through me like a memory awakening, a whisper returning, a truth demanding to be seen? Why does the message shape itself without effort, without planning, without pressure, like my soul has always known the words before I do? Why does inspiration not feel like invention, but like alignment, remembrance, reception, something holy coming home through me? Why does the act of creating become more about feeling than thinking, more about channeling than constructing, more about being than doing? Why does content flow best not when I try to impress, but when I simply express freely, fearlessly, faithfully? Why does the camera feel less like an audience and more like a mirror, reflecting my essence, capturing my frequency, honoring my flow? Why does the lens become a portal between dimensions, between self and service, between spirit and story? Why does pressing record feel like opening a sacred space where truth is safe to land? Light is free to lead, and love is allowed to speak. Why does every take, every share, every frame hold something real, raw, radiant, more than content, more than caption, more than strategy? Why does my energy do the storytelling before my words ever try? Why does my message move faster when I stop trying to make a point and start allowing a pulse? Why does each word I speak carry a vibration, a signature, a sacred echo of something ancient yet alive? Why does my voice become more magnetic when it's guided by flow, not formula, by intuition, not imitation, by resonance, not rules? Why does the story arrive when I release control, return to presence, rest in the rhythm that's already writing itself through me? Why does every second of authenticity carry more power than hours of rehearsed performance? Why does the more I trust the channel, the clearer the transmission, the cleaner the impact, the deeper the reach? Why does vulnerability feel less like exposure and more like elevation? Because when I show up unguarded, I rise unfiltered. Why does the screen stop being a wall and start becoming a window between me and the world, between now and next, between message and miracle? Why does sharing my voice become a spiritual practice, a soul offering, a moment of devotion where nothing is forced and everything is felt? Why does content creation become communion between the self I am, the self I'm becoming, and the self I've always been beneath the noise? Why does each post feel like prayer, each edit feel like energy work, each share feel like a seed of awakening? Why does documenting my presence become the doorway to my purpose? Because my presence is the message, my alignment is the brand, and my being is the gift. Why does sharing from this sacred space connect deeper, last longer, reach wider? Because the soul always knows how to speak, and it never needs a script. Why does my soul speak so clearly when I let it broadcast without fear? Why does my voice shine brightest when it's free from performance, comparison, and control? Why does content born from communion carry the kind of clarity algorithms can't suppress, timelines can't erase, and viewers can't forget? Why does every moment I create from truth become timeless, alive in hearts moving through screens, echoed in spirit? Why does the truest content come not from planning ahead, but from dropping in? Because I was never meant to perform content. I was born to broadcast soul.